Alright guys, so as you can see, all of our ducks have started intermingling really well with each other. The 4 ducklings that we got at the beginning of the season in hopes of getting females unfortunately turned out to all be males, which was a bit disappointing, but they are going to be dinner birds, just to give you guys a heads up on that. They're getting quite large. They're getting to a point of where we are probably going to start using some of them for meat. But as you can see, they came out quite gorgeous. They're from a different breeder than I got the last male. They're a bit bigger than he is, and seem to have a bit more vibrant colors, which I'm liking, and their tails are curling a lot better. So I think that I'm going to keep one of them as the primary male for breeding next year and all that. And plus the other one, the older one, has had a longer life anyways. Unfortunately, one of the males about a week ago did develop some sort of a limp. Not sure where he got it, but he must have banged it on something, because I did check his foot and we don't have any sort of thorns or slivers or cuts or bumblefoot or anything to that effect, so that's okay. He's just got a bit of a limp, so we'll have to see where that goes. We're keeping an eye on it. But they've developed their pecking order pretty well. The young males are starting to go at each other a little bit more over the past couple weeks or so, trying to state which of them is going to be the most dominant. They're all doing really well. They do have their little kiddie pool over there. I'd like to get them something bigger when we move, since there's so many ducks, but it works for now. It gives them a place to cool down. We change that about every other day, and as anybody who has ducks knows, that they turn it to that brown color within about a half an hour, but we do like to keep it fresh. We change it about every other day. Otherwise, they do have their nipple feeder inside of their coop, which gives them nice fresh water all the time, and we add apple cider vinegar to that about once a week to give them a little bit of the immune and health boost, and they seem to like it. We were a little worried about the one in the corner over there, the female standing on the left. For about a day and a half, she seemed to be a bit egg-bound, but we gave her baths and kept an eye on her and gave her massages and all that. She seemed to have passed. I think she's just still a bit irritated, so she's been a little bit quiet, but she seems to be doing a lot better, which is great. We're very happy that that passed, especially since we only have 4 females right now. You can see the males go at the females a little bit. We haven't seen the young males try to mate the females yet. The adult male is still taking charge of that, who's in the pool with them over there right now. We're able to distinguish between the two because he's got a bit more mature feathers, and he's a little bit smaller. He's coming out now. And you can see that in his gray there, he's got a bit more brown splotching than the younger males. So you're able to tell the difference between them a bit more when I'm chomping through their food. I have switched them onto a good 16% layers pellets, all organic. They seem to be liking it. It's a bit more expensive than what I was feeding before, but I think it's worth it to have their organic and nice and healthy and all that good stuff. And they, of course, get their crushed oyster shell with that. Chickens are in the same feed. You can hear the rooster in the background, and we also give them diatomaceous earth every night, just a small sprinkling over their food. It helps with worming and overall health, and I've noticed a huge difference in the cleanliness of the eggs as they come out, and any discolorations, that kind of thing. Since we started the diatomaceous earth, it's working really well. And over on the left here, you can see that Chris gave them a little playground, which they enjoy. It's like a little debris hut. When they lay outside, they do tend to lay inside of there, underneath the little cave area, and it works out really well for them. They enjoy it, and when it first came out, they did a lot of foraging out of the log, and were able to get bugs out from underneath it. And in the background, which the female is actually walking around right now because they love excavating it, we did dig a trench that goes all the way through and under the fence and through the chicken paddock there, which diverts all the water from that pool when we dump it and make sure that it's not flooding the paddocks or going underneath the coops and creating any rot. We do have to dig that out about every 2 weeks. As you can see right now, it's getting a bit shallow. It's getting to that point where I'm going to have to do some maintenance on it and dig it out a little bit. And everyone's actually been getting along really well. The chickens get along with the ducks. We really actually didn't need to separate them. Every once in a while I'll actually open the gate and let them come back and through. They get along just fine. It's almost like they don't even notice the other one is there. But it gives them somewhere new to explore. It gives them a little bit more room, which is always nice for them. We do have one female over there that's turned into a bit of a loud mouth. Same thing probably over the past month or so. It's always the same female who's sitting in the pond there. She's learned that she's got a voice and she loves to yell and to talk all the time, and she's a bit more of one of the dominant females over the other ones. But everyone's still laying really well. We did give them a nice nest box inside their coop, just out of a Tupperware bin for now, that the ducks have been using. It makes them a little bit more comfortable since there's so many males around right now for them to be able to lay inside. Like we said, we'll be reducing that over winter and then getting some new ducklings next year to try again for females, hopefully. But at least we got some meat in the meantime. And we can head over to the chickens and see how they're doing. So the chickens have gotten very large. They're more or less full grown at this point. They're completely switched over onto layers pellets rather than the growers, the same one that we have the ducks on. But we haven't started to get eggs off of them quite yet. Though our one rooster, who's developed quite well, has begun mating the females. He's actually a nice rooster. We got very lucky with him. He's a bit aggressive with the females, but he's very kind to us. He actually lets me pick him up and touch him and pet him, and he's never been aggressive with me. He's very curious, and you can tell he's a bit territorial, keeps an eye on his place all the time. They're over there getting some food right now, so I'm sorry I don't have any shots of it, but we did build them a bit of a playground over there. As you can see, all the different logs and beams going back and forth, and they love to roost up there and run along it, and gives them a cool place to hang out. Also gives them a little bit of shade under those couple logs that you can see on the left that are going more horizontally. There's 3 or 4 of them there, and it gives them a little bit of shade during the sun, which is nice. But they're very active. They like to run around a lot, like to play a lot, like to climb up there. They're all quite docile chickens, especially with the fact of how docile my rooster is. They've got their feed pan, which I'd like to get them a different feeder in time, just because I do have to clean it a lot, because as you can see, they stand inside of it. They like to scratch it around, and they are receiving an organic scratch in the afternoon, which gives them a bit of a treat, but otherwise they do like to do a lot of foraging around. We have 2 different waterers. We have one pan waterer and one automatic waterer, which is behind me. And inside the coop, they've been doing really well. You can tell we have one small nest box in there for them just for now, until they start laying. And once they do, we'll probably add some more. We also added 2 roosts in there, which they enjoy. They go up there every night. Chickens are great at putting themselves away. The ducks I have to work with a little bit more to get them to go in at night. But the chickens, as soon as it's dusk, they're always all right inside and up on their roosts, nice and quiet, waiting for me to shut the door. I'll come out quite nicely. The one that you see right up front here on the camera that just looked at us, you can see the feathers are a little different. She was the runt, and she actually developed a little slower than everybody else. She had her downy feathers, her little baby fuzzy feathers there, much longer than everybody else. When she finally lost them and started getting feathers, you can see the nice black pattern that she got in her feathers compared to everybody else. So he's able to distinguish her, and she's still a bit smaller than everyone else. Otherwise, everyone's doing very well, and they get along quite nicely. And they've been great for us. And it worked out quite well having the one rooster with all the females. And these are a breed that tend to go broody, so we'll see what happens when they start laying eggs, if they're going to try to breed themselves or not. Otherwise, everything's been going along really well and developing really well with our routines with them and with the ducks and all that good stuff. And as time goes, we'll keep adding more and more livestock to our collection here, if you want to call it that, our little farm. Thanks for joining us and checking them out. Chickie chickies.